So I knew that I'd be successful with content between 96 and 2000, but of course what's gone on then has been this tsunami of intellectual input by really a large collection of really smart people that have been able to do the assessment of the impact of this thing called the internet and what it really does mean for us. That then meant that there was a whole array of new thinking that was available to me that wasn't available to me in 1996. And being a lawyer by profession, at law school they teach you two things, right? They teach you how to find stuff and they teach you how to think. So when we put the Hong Kong Visa Centre together and when we were thinking about what the future was going to look like, I was forced to develop a service delivery mechanism around what the realities of the internet were all about. So I didn't know what was really going on with the web at that time, so all my reading was giving me exposure to some pretty profound thinking. Seth Godin, Kevin Kelly, Charlie Munger, Don Tapscott. I kind of read everything these people had ever written and watched every piece of moving pictures that they'd ever appeared in, and just started to really think through what they were saying meant for me in terms of my own thinking. And because the internet is the world's biggest library, you can go out and find stuff, and then once you've got it, you start to think about it. Because I've got such deep domain knowledge, I could really apply what I understood about what I do and the dynamics and the mechanics and the emotional aspects and everything else about my particular niche. Know how the service model had traditionally been constructed to deliver on the kind of expertise that I've got. I had insights into my competition, which gave me a significant amount of confidence to know that if I did something a little bit unusual, they would struggle to keep up with that. And in fact, time has proven that my ideas about how I could disrupt the way that my niche was traditionally serviced has been borne out, because after having published for 7 years now and got more than 10,000 pieces of content, I don't see my competition responding.
So essentially you combine all your years of expertise on the ground working in the field with the best ideas for intellectual heroes, and that's how you came up with the strategy to rebuild your service business from the ground up, starting with content production, which later on, 2017, is how intelligent content marketing was born. Is that correct?
Well, that's right, yeah. The way that immigration services were traditionally sold and traditionally delivered meant that when Kevin Kelly was basically telling me what the future looked like through his books, then that gave me the confidence to do unusual things with the business model. Charlie Munger is, in a sense, through his wisdom, screaming from the rooftops, why does business have to be so complicated? It all boils down to relationships. It boils down to trust. It's about deserved trust. So it's things like doing one thing and doing it better than everybody else. It's about treating other people in the same way you want to be treated too. These are very human values that you don't see traditionally in industrial economy businesses. So having access to these ideas, Don Tapscott basically anticipating things like Spotify before it had been launched, Wikinomics, which was the sort of the harbinger of what went on to be couched as the sharing economy. In the way that Don Tapscott expected the sort of the wiki type scenario when he wrote the book Wikinomics to sort of, let's say, gain traction. I don't think that his ideas extrapolated out into the things like Uber, for example, today. and certainly Airbnb. In Wikinomics, he's not talking about that stuff, but he's talking about sharing. He's talking about collaboration. He's talking about basically allowing humans to connect at a level so that, you know, the commons can deliver to the benefit of all. And when you understand like Uber and you understand like Airbnb, those are very much ideas of that ilk. So Wikinomics and The Digital Economy, both books by Don Tapscott, gave me the confidence to know that the future was going to be different. And it gave me the insights as to how things might change. And from that perspective, then it's just a question of me getting the confidence to apply those precepts and those maxims and those basic ideas to what I knew best, which was Hong Kong immigration. And then the entrepreneur in me obviously meant that, okay, now let's use this to our strategic advantage and let's just do it differently. And it's been borne out completely by the experience that we've had.